Wow. All right. All right. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I have never in my life done anything like that. I have never in my life done anything like that. Pride and Prejudice movie now. Wow. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack, but my sister just texted me. I don't know if she wants to be undercover. Never mind. I'll tell you later. Wow. There's a lot to unpack, huh? We got a lot to talk about. Sorry, I am celebrating, so I am pouring myself coffee. I'm back. Hello. Okay, folks. Talk to me. How are we doing? Is everything okay? Are we all okay? The score? Thank you. Coffee at 9. It's not actually coffee. Get Yart Mapped. Everybody who guessed that the last time was going to be Get Yart Mapped was right. James Jasper Spear. Yeah, that was fun. You're somewhat okay? All right. You got to the premiere. That's amazing. I'm so glad. Oh, the Discord deserves all the shout-outs. The Discord was... I can't even tell you the number of times that you didn't even know what you were doing when, sorry about that. You didn't even know the help you were giving me just to push through, so thank you. I'm binging the series again. Oh, yeah, I do. There's some good stuff in there, now that you know everything. Yeah. Oh, someone saw me at Harry Potter. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for saying that. Is that Pat? Hi, Pat. The Pride and Prejudice movie. Nick, you can give this to me, please. They didn't die. They did not die. I was never gonna do that. And I was never gonna do the whole "it was all a dream" thing. Do you know what I mean? Like it could have been that like everything consequential that happened may have never happened, but that's not the case. They just got dropped back into the moment after the big switch. They just came back to that moment. But everything that happens still happens. Does that make sense? They just kind of start at the beginning of where we left off. And they live in their realities. And then every now and then they can see each other when they go to bed. So the very first ending song of Lucids was actually a nod to this idea that I'll see you when I see you in my dreams. That was that idea, that Benjamin and Oliver can only see each other in their dreams. But they still see each other. But they are not in the same reality, no. Lucids. If you want to go check out what everybody is talking about, it's on YouTube. It's called Lucids. It's the new... Fuck it. It's the new hit YouTube show. It is the new thing. It's the new hit YouTube show, and you're on the very front lines of finding out that it is the new hit YouTube show. So go check it out. Because, yeah. I think if we all put our heads together, I think it could be. Who knows? and it's bingeable. So yeah. Oh my goodness, they're everybody's going so fast. Okay, we love that. How do I feel? I feel overwhelmed with gratitude, mostly. Immense gratitude. I never in a million years thought that people would respond to this story the way that they have. And I do feel like it's an important story. Not that the concept's cool, but the story is, I think, important. Do you know? Sorry, I missed that. Will we get any epilogue content? I don't know. I don't think so. I think for the storyline of Lucids, I think that's done, and I think it's nice to have it done. At least in this incarnation, obviously if I can pitch it or get it sold, or obviously I want to stay on it, but make it into a bigger thing, I want to. I think it's good enough. I really do. I really think that this storyline and this concept is strong enough that it could withstand some pretty hefty lifting. And I want to do that. Been here since the first episode of Cultish. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That is really special. That is really wonderful. It is people who were here since the first Cultish that inspired me to do the second one, and the second one is what got Benjamin involved in the Cultish universe before I even released the first Benjamin and Oliver, and that is what prompted Lucids. So thank you for all of your support for Cultish. Otherwise, it would have been a different series. It would have been a completely different series. There may not have been a series. I really wanted to continue with Fire at Will. I thought Fire at Will would have been a hilarious kind of hokey sci-fi show. And then people just responded so well to Jasper, and I realized that Jasper is where the story was. And so I continued with Jasper, and truly, Jasper should get all the credit, because he was the guy that everybody responded to, saw kind of a light in, and I followed him, and we got to Lucid. We got here a year later. I remember the first Cultish episode on my FYP last April, yeah. I've been here since the start, since Icebreakers. Holy smokes. Wow. Eat, sleep, play, Pampers. Yeah. Love, sleep, and play. It's because you were getting confused with eat, pray, love. I can't believe it's been a year. I know. What do I plan on doing now? I have a lot. I have tons. I have narration to finish up. Or redo. I have another concept for a short film or a short series. I think a short film that I'm very much looking forward to. That might include some characters from the Lucids verse, which I would be really happy to revisit. Not big characters, just like people who I would like to revisit. There's a third one, which is a series where I have a concept and I do not have a plot attached to that concept yet. I've been working on it for a really long time, and I want to hone that down. So tons. I'm currently working on a Netflix series, so that's going to take up quite a bit of my time. Just one episode on it, but a cool episode. Do a short film of If I'm Your Type, You're on My Keyboard. I want to do that too. I really want to do that too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a little Netflix project. Nothing of mine. I'm just an actor here, so I'm literally just an actor on this thing, and it's just a nice a nice thing to make money, but it's making money in service for the things that I love doing. What exactly does get your art mapped mean? It means I like to think that it's something a little rude, something a little bit provocative, something it's used by a bully in its first incarnation of like, get yart mapped, loser. Like, okay. Yeah. The finale was it's a show that doesn't exist yet. It's gonna come out, I don't even know when. I'm in an episode that is pretty independent of the rest of the series. So I don't know a lot about the show itself. I just I'm doing my job. When are all the songs going to be released? I'm releasing them very slowly but steadily on SoundCloud. Obviously, we have a lot of songs to take from Part 6 and put them out there. But yeah, they're all on SoundCloud. When will we see bloopers? Gosh. You want to see something? Which take was it? Was it Mrs. Hill's? It was in the white space. It was in the white space. And it was Mrs. Hill's 25. Oh no, I named the actual video files differently. Hang on, everybody. I think it was in the 20s though. The audio files for Mrs. Hill's in the white space went up to 37, I think. Hang on, everyone. I'm gonna look for this one moment. Oh, it might take forever. I'm really sorry if it does. Anyway, one of my goals is to act with you. So I would love to act with you someday. I would love to. I mean, that sounds pretty lovely. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so I have a terrible time voicing over for Mrs. Hills. It is so unbelievably hard. And this is without color correction, by the way, so it looks a little yellow, but this is in the white space. And this is what it looks like. All right, hang on, everybody.
Now that both of your minds are aware that they depend upon each other, I imagine that if one of you had the instinct to alter either timeline, the other would simultaneously have the same instinct, ultimately canceling each other out.
Yep.
One more time.
Very surprised that I actually got it on my first try. That was a remarkable moment, because most of the time it's me just going like, and that was nailed it. And that was such a hard line. That took my mom forever to record, so I was sure that I was gonna like fail on actually getting the lip syncing, and it worked. There was a moment. Oh, do you wanna see? This is where is it? Oh, this is quite sweet, actually. So this is one of the ways that we did that last shot. There's my mom, the unsung hero of Lucids. And there we walk down the street. She's holding the phone, recording my dialogue. And then we would run back, and she would record all of her dialogue, and I would give appropriate pauses as we went along. I don't think that was the ending. That was the ending take. But yeah, that's how we did that. Pretty cool. And then at the end, you get to see how it all turns out. I have no more secrets from you. I have no more secrets. If anything doesn't make sense, then I can answer some stuff. But all of this stuff is there. All of this stuff is in all of the episodes. I don't want to do too much clarifying because I gave you 6 episodes of that. Where do I edit? Final Cut Pro. You shouted me out on the TL. Yes. Do Pants Jasperson. Lovely. There was text over one scene. There was text over one scene. Where was the text over one scene? Does Mrs. Hill stay in Benjamin's dreamscape? No, she goes back to her reality, right? So she goes back to Arthur. Because he says, come back home if you can. It's that moment in episode 5 where in her reality, and Arthur comes in and he says, And she's like, yes, I'm awake, right? Which means we're back in her reality. That room is her reality. And she goes back to Arthur and she's like, I'm back. And he's like, want to watch Pride and Prejudice? Very cheeky. Yeah, she goes back to her reality. What's next for me? I've got some professional gigs. I have some ideas for new stuff in my spare time. Hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of me. You know, all fingers crossed. But this is such a cool way to break into the internet and film and sort of get my name out there as a filmmaker, you know, which is something in addition to acting that I want to be. So I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for my own independent stuff, but as far as professionally, you know, I want to figure out something to do with Lucids. I want to like get it into the hands of people who can like do something with it. If anybody has a cousin or an uncle or an aunt who is a head person at Hulu or Netflix or something, hook me up, because boy do I have a story for them. Yeah, so who knows what's next, but it's exciting no matter what. Do we ever do a meet and greet? I would love to do a meet and greet once COVID is over. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if I'm still, I don't know. We'll see when COVID is over, and we'll see if everybody still likes Lucids by the time COVID is over. But I think you'll still like Lucids. So yeah, I'd love to do a meet and greet. Be very fun. My dad helped make Shrek. Send him Lucids. Send him Lucids. What do we have to lose, right? We are a small fandom. We are a small but dedicated fandom. What do we have to lose? Send it to everybody. Who cares? I want this to. I'm so proud of what it is. I'm so proud of what this is. I got emotional every time I watched the finale because it is the best. I know that it is the best I could have done with what I was given. Screw it, it's better than what I could have done with what I was given. I was such a combination of lucky, obviously hard work had a lot to do with it, but lucky, my parents, I can't thank them enough for all of the support, and whenever I needed them, like whenever I was like, I need the camera to be here, or I need your voice here, it was almost always same day. And that was invaluable with timing and with pacing and with just getting the thing done. I had the Discord. I had you guys. I had all the subscribers on YouTube. I had everyone who used my audio on TikTok and it became a meme and whatever. Like, I had all these people and it became... Sorry, my phone is slowly but surely dying. But it became such a beautiful thing. Allow me to get my charger. Which is where? Oh, I put it in my bag. Dude, it's just crazy, right? That like this is the last time we're gonna be talking about a Lucids episode after it's aired. That was it. That was the last Lucids. And it was so short-lived, you know, it was like 3 months of Lucids. Like, people do things for years and years and years and years. And Lucids belonged in that time frame. And that was it. That's crazy. That is so very cool. And I am so very proud. I think that's the biggest thing. All right, I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to talk about score. If you want to talk about score, I am here to do whatever. I have no more secrets. Everything is out there. What was the thing that was supposed to cost $2,000? Oh, I wanted the last shot to be a cherry picker, kind of like lift up and away, or like a drone thing of like them walking down the street and make it like, and I couldn't have that, so what I decided to do was change the aspect ratio back to TikTok, and it had the exact same emotional hit. When did I conceive of that twist? From the beginning. I knew it from the beginning. From the moment that they had the same realities and dreamscapes. I've known that since forever. Oh, thank you for writing about me in your performing arts coursework. That's awesome. Jasper fangirling over Oliver. It was my favorite. It was one of my favorite scenes to film. That was the best. Yeah, that was such a fun scene. And that whole scene, you will notice that there are shoulders in almost every shot because it's a very hard thing to visualize as to where everybody is. That is constantly my mom in different jackets. And so she was wearing the Oliver jacket when Jasper runs up to Oliver and he's like, "You wrote the Lumber Sweats and the Sweet Meat Chronicles." And my mom could not stop laughing. I was trying to be so mad or like confused or passionate at Oliver, and my mom could not stop laughing, and so that was very fun. I did do a tiny animation for Lucids for an assignment, but I want to redo parts of it. Oh, that's awesome. This is so cool, just what everybody has done. Getting myself 2 hoodies right now. Hey, thank you very much. I think they look great. The Whisper of Friendship is the best. I know, I love them. What happened to Alex and Ryan? What happened to Alex and Ryan? What happened to Alex and Ryan? Why an apple? An apple because when I was first filming the very original Benjamin and Oliver, he was just shopping at Whole Foods and he had an apple. And then by part 2, I was like, okay, I need a solid thing that will represent Dreamscape ownership. What should it be? What should it be? What should it be? And I knew that was Benjamin's Dreamscape and Oliver's reality, even then. And I knew that Benjamin's reality was Oliver's Dreamscape. So at that point I was like, oh, Benjamin has the apple. It should be an apple. An apple should be the representation. And then I was really lucky with it being like, the symbol of biblical knowledge and, like all sorts of stuff that the apple comes to represent. Fruit of a tree, and the Lucids are constantly talked about as though like the Dreamscape is like a massive tree growing, and like these are the fruits of like those Dreamscape things, and that was very cool. I don't even plan my life as far as this. Typically me neither, but I got so sucked up into it that I was like, if I can do this, it'd be pretty cool. And I did it. It was in December that I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna finish this. I'm not gonna flake out. I'm going to actually do this. And I knew that it was gonna end in a white void. I knew the twist. I knew all of the scenes. I knew everything. And I knew the chase sequence. And it seemed like it was gonna be impossible to do. And I did it. And that was really cool. Are the Jaspers the keyboard? No, they're not the keyboard band. I usually have score questions that haven't emotionally processed anything. Oh dear, yeah. This wasn't a very score-heavy episode. It had a lot of emotional kind of like callbacks to certain themes, but as far as like ingenuity of combining themes, it was pretty solid. It was pretty not complicated because so much was happening in the story. I'll always stay in love. Choral reprise got me feeling things. Yeah, me too. I recorded that here. I did a lot of the voiceover stuff. All of the lines in the white space, by the way, are not original audio. Well, except for Mrs. Hills, but I'm mouthing over that. All of the Benjamin and Oliver lines are, I recorded right next to my bed, and I synced my voice to my mouth because the audio wasn't any good from the day of shooting. It was crazy. Take You to the Underground. That's called Minute for Yourself. And it's not out yet, but it will be. Where did I get the white void? That's where I invested money. I decided, I have some money left over from Harry Potter. and I've been very smart about saving this entire pandemic. And I found this place that was relatively cheap, that just had this big white wall. And the hardest thing was, it was just one white wall. A white wall that dipped. And so I never moved the camera. I moved everything in relation to the camera. Does that make sense? So all of the angles, instead of us doing this, we stayed here and the entire set moved like that. And that was really hard to keep track of in my head. And I was really grateful to have my dad and my mom there, you know, because we were all helping. It was like all hands on deck for that last scene. That was the last thing we filmed. That was the last thing filmed of Lucids. That's not true. The moment where Arthur comes in and touches the mug and goes like, Lydia? That was the last thing ever filmed in Lucids. I filmed that at my sister's apartment in Houston. And I didn't have the Arthur shirt because I'd packed it in a box. So if you look, he actually has his jacket closed and you never see his face. So that way you don't have to see any of that. That was the last thing I ever filmed of Lucids. Can someone post this live? I have to leave, please. I think someone records all of the lives, I'm pretty sure. When did I wrap on filming? I wrapped on filming a month ago. A month ago. No, sorry, 2 months ago. 2 months ago. No, a month and a half ago. Because it took me 2 weeks to edit part 5. And it took me a full month to edit this one. Which was crazy. It's okay, time isn't real. Time is real. Our experience of time is real. It's as real as anything we're gonna get. But time itself is, you know, always present, omnipotent. Our narration in Lucid's gonna be connected. That has to do with narration, and I don't want to answer that. But I'm keeping them pretty separate. The Jasperson quote at the end was the real cherry on the top. Omnipresent, there it is. Which character do you see yourself the most in? Oliver. Yeah, Oliver, I think is the closest to me. Just like kind of like, no matter all the bad stuff, and it's sort of like keep going. And so he was the easiest to write for sure, which is why I gave him the big speech, because I could just write as me rather than like trying to like figure out, like get into someone's headspace. Like Jasper was hard to write a speech for because he's a little bit more sort of a little more doughy-eyed and just kind of I don't, you know, that thing. And I found Oliver to be sort of my person. Benjamin is what I was doing as Albus for about a year. And Quinn is just cool guy Jones. I don't know, he's just such a cool guy. Thank you. You all are such an inspiration to me. I mean, I don't say that enough, but you really are. I get what you mean about Oliver. I do the same thing when I'm writing. Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene in Lucids? I don't know. One of my favorites to film, honestly, was the scene in episode 2 with Mrs. Hills' monologue. That was one of the coolest things ever because I really invested time into directing my mom as an actor. And that was really cool. I love the last scene. I love them walking off and the dialogue they have. Although that wasn't my favorite to film, right? Because that was a really hard one to film. But editing it together, I was like, yes, this works. All sequences on the cliff were such fun to film because it was just me. I was by myself. It was gorgeous. I can't tell. I tried to do as much justice as I could with the camera, but sitting on that cliff at sunrise, and that is in the neighborhood that my best friend growing up, where he lived, and so that drive always reminds me of like getting excited to see my best friend. And driving out there and like sitting on that cliff and doing a thing that I wrote and really believing in the message I was talking about. Always. It was so cool. So cool. So maybe filming that sequence was really fun. And that was, so I was filming parts 6 and 5 at the same time. And right before I finished with the white scene, I did I did the Oliver speech and everything out on the cliffs. So that was the second to last thing I filmed. And that was, I don't know, I will carry sights, sounds, memories, smells, so much from this series. And I think my job was to make you see, feel, smell, taste everything in your imagination while you watch. And what a cool challenge. Because I know I had such a visceral response to not only the location itself, but the imagination behind that location of like, there are 4 people sitting on this cliff, and how cool will that be when it looks like that? And what does that feel like? And I want you to feel that too. Because I'm so in love with that feeling. I'm so in love with imagination, and I'm so in love with storytelling, and I'm so in love with these characters. And at the core of doing this series was translating that into a YouTube video. So, cheers to YouTube. I never thought I could do it. I always looked at people who did it and I was like, that takes a certain type of person. And I am not vloggy enough. I don't like giving up my personal information. I'm not introverted. Maybe I am. I really don't know. I mean, if you only get to choose 2, that's a big washover of personalities. But I'm not one who typically feels themselves in large groups. And I felt as always though like YouTube was a place for big group people. And I made a little corner of like a story that I thought if people are willing to sit down for 24 minutes and watch it, then they're the type of people who are willing to listen and answer. Because I don't think it's just a one-way direction of me just talking at you. I leave enough open for interpretation that you take it and you respond in your own way to your reception of it. You receive it and you respond to that reception, and it is then a dialogue between you and the piece. It is for me anyway, and that's really cool. Yeah, if that makes any sense. Creating takes the creator and the audience. Exactly. Yeah. I saw a lot of myself inside Oliver. Me too, yeah. I'm so sorry, I've been missing everything. It's weird that so many people watch something that you created. Sometimes the number gets a little weird. But when I see comments, when I get DMs, when I don't know, the interactions I have really inform me that, these are one-on-one people. And I know that I am someone, I don't comment on anything. I try commenting on TikTok and I get weird imposter syndrome from commenting on things. So applause to you if you are the type of person who can comment on something and like be okay with yourself, because I don't comment on anything. DM people? No way! I don't do that. And yet I know that there's so much in my life that, like, art that has affected me that I've never publicly commented or contacted the creator. And so I know that there are a lot of people within that a relatively large number who aren't reaching out to me but are still affected and who may not be the most vocal, as I am not the most vocal when I'm dealing with a creator that I like, who, I don't know. So when I see that number, I try not to get too freaked out about who's seeing my work, and I try to get more excited about the possibility of how many people are hearing something that they needed to hear today. And I'm just glad I'm happy that it's me who's giving that to them. But so long as just they hear it, do you know what I mean? Like something, and not something that you expected to hear, something rather that takes you out and goes like, holy crap, I'm living my life. You know what I mean? Like here I am sitting down in front of my computer watching a YouTube video, and I am living my life. This is my life. This is the life I get. This is it. And what a beautiful opportunity. What a beautiful opportunity to fall in love as many times as you can. With as many things as you can, with as many hobbies, with as many interests and questions and people as you can. And if my YouTube video gets you to feel that, then great. If another YouTube video gets you to feel that, amazing. If a piece of poetry gets you to feel that, incredible. And then the question is that if I can do that to people, right? The next step is, if I can do that to people, who is to say that that little song or that poem or that piece of art that you are sitting on, that you know is good, but you're just afraid to share, who's to say that that won't get someone else to just get up off their ass and be like, holy shit, this is my life. Do you know what I mean? And not in a bad way, not in like a, I don't know, mortal way or like existential crisis way. Because the way I brought in people with Lucids was like, existential crisis, by the way, everything's fine. Not in an existential crisis way, in a really celebratory way. If this is my life, we get to experience things. We get to touch tables. We get to feel our legs inside of pants. We get to put on socks. We get to feel. We get to taste good food. We get to hear good music. We get to see incredible sights, even if that's just the way that light reflects on a water bottle. Like, there's so much. There's so much that if you notice it all the time, you'd go insane. And so don't notice it all the time. But good art can just take you out for a second and make you realize how beautiful everything is. Because it is. Even if you feel hopeless as far as people go, which I get, because people are variables and they change and they grow, and that is beautiful in itself. But just your experience of everything is so beautiful. And I think that's what I was getting at with Lucids, of like, reality is not what you choose, but what you are given. And it is up to you to find the beauty inside what you are given, and to make the most out of what you are given. And it is so impossible sometimes, which is going back to Jasper of like, happiness isn't normal, happiness is hard, it's impossible sometimes. But you can do it. And you don't need a cult, you don't need worshipers, you don't need stolen identities. You just helped someone. And so in that case, I'm proud of you. Do you know what I mean? So it just feels as though, I think that's the core of all of this, is happiness, love, everything is not up to you. You make it out of what you are given. Yeah. Whoever just sent me a bunch of fire, thanks. Fire. Yeah, go watch the series. There's also a whole bunch of, I don't know, fucking weird theoretical physics craziness that you can also get invested into if you want, which I love. I love it. Big ideas in physics that gets me out of a bad day, because I'm a bit like, whoa, life can exist for so little of a window of time in the grand scheme of things, and here I am existing in it. Hell yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? Okay. When will narration be back? Soon, I hope. I mean, once I get the hoodie back. I mean, I don't have the hoodie right now, but I will get the hoodie, and therefore we can have Hero. Tough thing about being the only actor. Will we see James Jasperson again? I hope so. I love him. I love doing his voice. I love doing all of his stuff. I hope so. I mean, he's kind of an open end, isn't he? I haven't really made any plans with him, but he's a wild card. He gets to kind of be wherever he wants to be, which is quite fun. I miss Hero too. We need the soundtrack. The soundtrack is up on SoundCloud. I want to put it up on Spotify, but it doesn't sound good enough to be on Spotify, so I will be working on that. Big book, bigger book, biggest book. Boy, was I proud when I made those props. How long will hoodies be available for purchase? I think these will probably be around for quite a long time. I might get a little selective with other things and make a new line of merch, but I'll announce that. Go follow me on Twitter or Instagram, or those are where I make the announcements. So go follow me on those, and I'll keep you posted if I'm thinking about like taking anything down. As of right now, I'm pretty happy with where the merch stands. I'm not trying to like cheat anybody out of their money with time or limited. I know that that's more lucrative, but I also recognize that this is a very small fandom, and the point is not to make money. I'm very lucky right now to have a job, but I want to be careful with how I monetize especially my stories, because it can become so disingenuous so quickly, and so I want to be careful with that. Right now, all the videos are monetized, so you have to watch ads, which, like, watch ads, please, because I do need some financial support, but I don't know. An extraordinary life. I know, Jasper has a little hint to that when he says pretty extraordinary. Wow, guys, we're done. Lucids is over. You know, Lucids is over. A year. I didn't think it would be a year. You know what's so weird? I mean, I'll level with you. You know what's so weird? So my profession, like the way I make money, is by being an actor. And I've been doing auditions recently, throughout the past maybe 3 months. And I have just been finding myself completely being like, okay, this character is a Quinn, this character is a Benjamin, this character is a Jasper, this character is an Oliver, this character is a Mrs. Hills, this character is more of like an Arthur. Oh, I get it, this character is just an tree guy. And it has helped infinitely to be able to break them down into these archetypes that I have worked so hard on, that I have like gone through take after take after take. I mean, I don't want to get to it. I don't like talking about like how hard someone works, because I don't think that's the point of anything, but Lucids is over, so screw it, I'll go into it. I do so many takes of like, yeah, that was close, but that wasn't Oliver. That wasn't him. Where is he? Where is he? Okay, and then you do it, right? And you keep going until you're like, yeah, there he is. And then you start working. And I've worked so hard on that now in like these moments of, like going up with like big time producers and folks and networks and what have you, there I am with these people, these big dollar name people. I'm a bit like, yeah, but it's Oliver. It's just Oliver. And it feels as though I'm walking into a room, and this is my profession, this is what I want to do, and I want to do this in a big way. I don't want to stay on YouTube forever. I want to I want to make things for a larger group of people, and I also want to change the communication within that. You know, I have enjoyed so much talking to everybody and being so open and about the process and communicating, and I think that's important. But going in there and being like, you know, I'm auditioning for this character, but it's just me and old friends. That's really nice. That's really cool. I'm going to hold on to this series forever. Oh, thank you. I know. I actually. So here's the thing. I believe you, because I have a lot of series like that. I have a lot of YouTube videos like that. Things that affected me and made me jump out and go like, holy crap, I'm living my life. Here it goes. There goes today. That was today. This was March 19th of 2021, according to the Roman calendar, for the rest of time. Crazy. That was the revolution of the earth, and I was on it. There's this great theory that art, or like one of the deepest desires of humans, of like people with consciousnesses and imaginations, one of the deepest desires is the thing we used to do in elementary school all the time, of just writing our name and saying like, I was here, right? That's all we want to do. It's just a little stamp. And I think a big difference that was made for me was I originally wanted to do that with as many people as possible. I wanted to get famous. I wanted to like say I was here to as many people as I could. And I met a guy in college. He was the head of the drama department when I went there. His name was Jim Houghton. And he taught me. He was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in my second year. And a few months later, between my second and third year, he passed away. And the entire time he was generous with his time. He listened to everybody. And he knew that he only had, so many words left to say, so many breaths to take. And he would always listen first. Even then. You only have so many words left in the world. And you know it. And you know that counter is going down of how many things you have left to say. And he would always listen first. I know this is such a hypocritical thing to say on a live where it's just me kind of... But hang on, because sometimes he would take his space and he'd be like, this is what I have to say. So I'm channeling him right now. And the thing he taught me is that, yes, life is about impacting people and leaving your mark on something. But it doesn't matter how many people. All that matters is how you impacted those people that you did. And I made this series, a small series, but it's mine. It is the first thing of this caliber, of this length, of this duration, of this attention from people. And I wanted to make sure that all the time I was focused on how am I going to impact people. Not how many, but how am I going to impact the people watching. And I have gotten so many incredible things from you guys. Some folks have sent me these little short films that they've done, or animations, or fan art, or just art, period, or poems. Like, I have received so much, and it is so good. All of it. And that's not necessarily because all of them have, like, the greatest, I don't know, technique or the greatest like finesse, but it's because they are all so genuine, right? So genuine. Even if that genuine nature comes from a sense of like imposter syndrome or of sarcasm or irony, it is still so genuine in that. And I cannot encourage you enough to make whatever you want to make. Because the worst thing that can happen is not that it's bad. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't make it. That's the worst thing. And as I said, your life is passing you right now. Not in a bad way, in a really celebratory way. Which is exciting. Is someone outside my door? People are running. Okay. Anyway. What is happening? Am I being robbed? That's how it ends. Me being robbed. Anyway. Well, I want to go to film school. Do? Yeah. Sorry, dude, it's a ghost. Sorry. Yeah, it's a ghost. It sounded like Meg. There's a woman in the cast who's Irish, and it sounded Irish. Maybe not. Maybe people heard smashed. Who knows? I left the cast and I was a bit like, peace, I gotta go chill with my main homies. Am I being robbed? Yeah. Okay, I will never be phased as nearly as hard as when I was surprised for my birthday where my girlfriend Crystal, she got like 3 of my biggest friends, tallest, broadest, strongest friends to come and surprise me by banging on the door of her apartment. They had a key, opened the door, put a bag over my head before I could even realize it was them. And yeah, big kind of, you learn if you fight or flight. I don't think Crystal anticipated how hard they were gonna go, but they went hard. Like it was, I banged on the door, I went, Nicholas Podany! And I was like, holy shit. They ripped open the door, and it was really sad. Me and Crystal, we were watching Singing in the Rain, because she's never seen it before. And Kevin, who's such a good friend of mine, they got the bag over my head, and he went, "So you're watching Singing in the Rain? It's the softest shit ever. Get out of here!" And they took me to I think first an escape room, and it was really fun. And then we went out for the night, and it was great fun. But woo! Nothing can shake me after that. That was terrifying. I think I'm fight, which is weird and not very conducive to my stature. But yeah, unfortunately, unless someone is smarter than me, I do tend to stand my ground, which is evolution failing. I should run. Everyone should run. You should run. I'm the third freeze, which is never helpful. Freeze, I know, right? He's like, Oliver is a Hufflepuff, but what is Benjamin? Oh, this is fun. Yeah, screw it. Lucids is over. What is Benjamin? Benjamin's probably a Slytherin, right? No. It is Meg. I think it's Meg and Georgina. I think they are running around the hotel. Anyway. No, Benjamin's probably Gryffindor and Quinn is Slytherin. Right? Benjamin's Ravenclaw. No. I think Jasper is Hufflepuff. I think Oliver is Gryffindor or Ravenclaw. And I think it's a toss-up for Quinn and Benjamin. I think Quinn could definitely be a Gryffindor or Slytherin, and I think Benjamin could definitely be a Gryffindor or Slytherin. You know what I mean? Benjamin's definitely a Slytherin, actually, now that I think about it. Because he's going to do anything that it takes to get what he wants. Do you know what I mean? He's not very loyal. It's a bit like the entire series. He's like battling against like, yeah, Oliver, whatever. Yeah, Mrs. Hills, whatever. I just want what I want. I think Benjamin's. Yeah. You said he reminded me, yes, of Albus. Yes. So yeah, he would be Slytherin. I'm a Gryffindor. Boring. Whoops. Jaspers have major himbo energy. Oh no. And now we leap off into references that I don't understand. Here we go. Why are people... Who is running? What is happening? What am I thinking of doing next? A lot. Hey, Gryffindor. Hey. We are so boring as Gryffindors. It was cool when it was like, Harry Potter's a Gryffindor. Ha. And now it's like everybody... The cool houses are now Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin because it's like, Gryffindor. And I know that I am one, so whatever. Percy Jackson is better. I've actually never read Percy Jackson nor seen it, so whoops. Please explain to Nick that Jasper is a Hufflepuff. They don't accept my essay. Yeah, Jasper's a Hufflepuff. What else would he be? What would Jasper be? What would Jasper be if not a Hufflepuff? He joins a cult and basically is like okay with him being kidnapped and knocked out because he's like, well, at least friends, right? I'm a Slytherin in denial. I'm getting more and more Slytherin the more I date one. I mean, Crystal has definitely introduced me to the benefits of being a Slytherin, but I do fear that I still am a Gryffindor. You should make up your own superpower. What would it be? When I was in elementary school, of course I was gonna be an actor. What the fuck? Okay, so when I was in elementary school, I had these 3 friends, and that was it. And we would hang out around this big tree. It was the biggest tree. It's so romantic and poetic. We'd hang out the biggest tree in the elementary school yard. And, it towered over all the rest of the yard, and everybody was hanging out at the handball courts and the basketball courts and the basketball court, which was just kind of one hooping. But, people were doing things, and we had this tree to ourselves. And we would play these games that was set up by this kid named Evan Siegel. So it was Evan Siegel, Matthew Kwasnick, Evan Dye, and me. And Evan Siegel was always sort of the game master. He was the guy who created the games, and he was all the evil people as well. And it was live action, and so we would really, we would draw our swords and we would do all this stuff, and Evan Siegel was so good at making up these stories. And we would, have all these chapters of things, and we would revisit different games at different times, and we could keep it on our heads. And so, it's amazing. I now look at elementary school kids and I'm like, children. But no, the complexity of the brain is so massive and so remarkable, and the goal is, when you're creating, is to tap back into that, of forget what everybody thinks about you, right? Because that takes up a lot of brain space, of what do people think about me? Forget that. Let's focus on what is the fun stuff, because it was pure fun. So my cheat, the way I got around everything, was we always got to pick an elemental power at the beginning. And Matthew was fire. No, he was earth a lot of the time. Evan was fire. And I would always pull some cheeky shit. So one time I pulled speed, which really helped because I could just dodge everything. And then one time, and they had to, Evan Siegel banned this from the game after I did it. I was Echo, which basically meant that whatever power was fired at me, right back. Boom, baby. So invincible, basically. And that really helped. So if I had to pick a superpower, Echo. Boom, done. It's cheating, but I get to choose. I wasn't an asshole. I had just figured out a way to like make things cooler. And Evan Siegel was great. You know, he would make up, sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but he would make up like villains that could combat my ability. He was a genius. This kid was a genius. Way better than any storytelling I can do now. Do you know what I mean? Like he always had some incredible twist at the end. And it was so cool. I don't know what he's doing now, but he was remarkable with his stories. And I remember there was one time, sorry, I'm just going to keep going. There was one time where the four of us, we all got back together again. And we were about to graduate college. And Matthew had written an essay for college about the imaginary games we used to play. And it was so sweet. And he remembered so much. And of course, all of us remembered it too, you know, like, just lovely. Yeah, of course I was going to be an actor or some sort of storyteller. Of course, Jesus. Sounds like you should reconnect now. What an elementary. I know, we really should. We really should. COVID is obviously through a big thing. We used to have, I laugh about me having 3 friends, it being the 4 of us, but we didn't have birthday parties for elementary school, for middle school, for pretty much into high school, because we would just have the 4 of us over. 3 of us had birthdays in October, so there'd just be boop, boop, boop of these birthday parties, and we would always sleep over, and it would be the 4 of us constantly. Yeah. Ah, sweethearts and geniuses. I mean, God, I look at that level of storytelling and I remember it. You know, I remember the lava levels and how you were done with the final lava level, but then there was like a level inside of that, and it was so surprising and so incredible. And you know, when I take you into that moment of Benjamin biting into the apple and you think this is the moment, and the camera flips up and you go into the white space, and all of a sudden there's the original scene speeding at you, like, that's how it felt, right? This sort of like, what is happening? That's how you want to feel when you hear a good story. And what a cool thing to create a cool story for you guys, and what a cool thing to hear the cool stories that you share me. It's weird because right now, without your comments, I'm alone in a room talking to a phone. But I also know there are 88 people on here right now, and I see these comments coming up, and I'm trying to keep up as I'm speaking, but it's hard. And I know that I'm talking to people. Does that make sense? It's remarkable. Even the stories that I'm telling you right now, they're engaging because they're narratives. That's what we have to go on as humans. I don't know. That's how we get into each other's brains. If we could read each other's minds, art would not exist. The reason behind art is because we are so fascinated with each other, and we are so fascinated beyond words. We ask, how is your day doing? Like what's the weather on your part of the world? Like, that's small talk. And then art is like beyond words of like, okay, tell me what your childhood was, but show me, make me feel your childhood as well. Because we can't read minds. Art is like us trying to read each other's minds, of us trying to connect on a level that words by itself does not do. And how sick that we can do that, right? Or at least that we can try. I don't know, all of this life is pretty much just going back to the idea of like, if you have something that you want to make and you think it's good, the worst thing that can happen is that you don't make it. Yeah. Okay. Monologue done. My friends desperately want to know what happened to the worksheet guy. Oh, he never got closure, did he? I like to think that he escaped because he sees like light, right? In that moment in part 5, he sees light, and so I like to think that he got out, that he got a little escape, like at the beginning of Inglourious Bastards. He rushed out. What color is my toothbrush? Green at the moment. No good reason. Actually, I like green. There is a good reason. It just happened to be green, and then I had a chance to buy a new toothbrush, and I got a green toothbrush again. What are the Lucid characters' elements? Everybody, help me. What are the Lucid characters' elements? All right. Oliver has got to be water. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? Mrs. Hills is water. Mrs. Hills is water. Okay, whoa. Oliver, air. Oliver, fire. Whoa! Okay, we've opened up so much. All right, okay. We're gonna start with Oliver. What is Oliver? Quinn is definitely fire. Oliver. I think Oliver is water. Air. Is everybody talking? Okay, hang on, because we actually might have different opinions about stuff. Oliver is air. You're 100% right. Oliver is air. Well done, everybody. Now that I think of it more, Oliver is like, yeah. Okay, great. We got Oliver. Oliver is air. Jasper. Yeah, Jasper could be water, couldn't he? No, because Benjamin is earth. Benjamin's definitely earth. Yeah. Jasper's water. Nice. Jasper's water, I think. Earth for Jasper. Jasper, air. I think Benjamin's earth. I think Benjamin is kind of this like boulder who's like going to what he wants, you know, like very and when I would play Benjamin, it was sort of this switch of like, I want what I want. What do you want? Not in the Mrs. Hills way, because Mrs. Hills is like much more waiting for you to come to her, and then she'll get you, which is why the comedy of her is whenever she kind of breaks that and is like, I'm actually a geek. But Benjamin is just a bit more like tired and a little exasperated and just wants to get the thing that needs to be done. Which to me feels like Earth. That feels like not beautiful Earth, but like boulder cave Earth. Like I'm in my shelter right now and I'm gonna go out later. The reason I originally thought of Oliver as water is because he is so he gets into the crevices of like everything and is trying to like meld, you know, trying to bring things together, trying to collect things in sort of his whirlpool and sort of trying to desperately get things back. Not things back, not as far as his brother, but like fix things, like make things into something more pure. That's why I thought he was water. Maybe Oliver is the Avatar. I do think Jasper might be air, but only because he's a little spacey, you know, kind of. I always thought a little out of the back of my head for Jasper. A little bit kind of you just open up the back of like the back door of your head and you kind of just let your brain sort of go out and your brain's a little like a half a step behind you every time you sort of turn, but it's eager and it wants to be there, which doesn't make him dumb. It just makes him just open on all directions. Quinn is cool. Quinn is just like fire. Quinn is like, yeah, I love Quinn. I love Quinn. Quinn was so easy to step into because Quinn is just like, arm up, you're done. Mrs. Hills too. Mrs. Hills has helped me with so much with auditions. Yeah, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Oliver Water, Benjamin Earth, Jasper Air, Quinn Fire. And this is coming from a person who has never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. So if you carry any preconceived notions, I'm not with you. I want to. Obviously, it's one of like the greatest pieces of television ever, and I know that it would blow my mind. So I must. I watched some as a kid, but it didn't. But I'd never like followed it. Arthur has to be Earth. Yeah, Arthur's Earth as well. Yeah, I gotta watch it. We know Tree is there. Yes, we do know this. We do know that Tree is there. Are you gonna continue the narration series? Absolutely, yes. Will I go back to Broadway? I hope, but not with Harry Potter. I'm done with Harry Potter. Harry Potter finished. My contract was gonna be done in a week, and so I'm done. And yeah. Tell you what, if we want to start a petition to get me to be Scorpius in England, I'll take it. I'd do that. But Albus, I feel a bit like I love Albus, and I love him, and I did him, and that'd be great. Yeah. Start the petition. No, don't bug them. But I do have an English passport, so working in England at some point would be very fun. I'd love to do that. Get the petition up. No. Yes. No, hang on. Wait a second. We are coming right out of COVID. We are coming fresh out of COVID. The production in Australia just started up. Let Jonathan Case run his ass off in that role, because I know that I will never in my life do as good of a job at Scorpius as Jonathan Case and Bubba Wyler. Never in my life. I know that I can aspire to want to do that, which is probably where all this comes from, but Jonathan Case and Bubba Wyler, dude. They are the two Scorpiuses I've seen, and they are mind-blowing. Obviously, I know Bubba's much better, and Bubba's is one of the greatest pieces of acting I have ever seen. I'm letting loose tonight. It really was astounding to share the stage with that guy. You know when you meet someone and it's like you're important, like you are a very good person and talented. That was Bubba. You know, he just was so attentive and so good and so open, and he would play, and he just. Because I'm always one for I love making, like, I love little accidents, I love little things. And not to toot my own horn, but I think the two of us together made something that was pretty remarkable. I loved us together. Yeah. Anyway. Wait, maybe come up to you and just say, a tree. Yes. A tree. A tree. Do you know what that's based on? Hey everybody, here's your little acting educational moment. A tree. The idea behind A Tree is based on a play called Waiting for Godot, and Waiting for Godot is by a man named Samuel Beckett. And if you like Lucids, you will get your mind blown open by Samuel Beckett. This dude did not fuck around. He's good. Read Waiting for Godot. Better yet, watch Waiting for Godot. There's a free version for it on YouTube. Go watch Waiting for Godot. Go watch it tomorrow. Go watch it tomorrow night. And sit through the whole damn thing. I swear to God, You might hate it the first time, but sit through the whole damn thing. It is humorous. It is hilarious. It is heartbreaking. It is discouraging. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I saw it when I was 7 years old, and it is not a show you should show your 7-year-old, and yet my parents for some reason thought it was a good idea, and so I went, and apparently, I don't remember it, but I was attentive through the whole thing. And I don't remember it, but I do remember that play always being familiar in my head. Does that make sense? I don't really have a memory of the play itself, but I remember it being familiar. And what a remarkable, feat of describing and writing in dialogue the human experience. Brilliant. Endgame by Samuel Beckett. Genius. Play by Samuel Beckett about a man who has an affair, and this is to give you a sense of who Samuel Beckett is. Lights come up. Oh my God, no, I can't. Okay, I'll talk about play first. Lights come up. 3 people in urns, right? The thing that you put cremations into. Huge urns, people inside of them, and just their heads showing. And they're talking all at once. And then the lights go one urn to another, and they talk about this affair they had. And it is fascinating. And then it ends, and then it happens again. And it is the exact same way again, with a few small differences. And if you look it up on YouTube, there is a version with Alan Rickman playing the man, and it is brilliant. The way they adapted it to screen was genius. There is a show that he wrote called Not I, which requires a woman to stand behind a black screen with a hole in the middle of it just for her mouth, and there's a special spotlight trained on her mouth, and she just starts speaking for about 15 minutes straight. And I saw it live, and I swear to God, the optical illusion of seeing this mouth, because your eyes start drifting without you knowing it. So in return, you feel like your eyes are at the same level, but the mouth starts looking like it's drifting across the stage, and it's the only thing that is light. And she would do this thing where she would keep her mouth really tight, and then she would flash it, and it would be like, and it's incredible. It's incredible what arts can do. And it's so dumb, right? I describe it, and it's like a mouth on stage just saying words, and you see it, and it's like brilliant. I don't know. That guy, Kendrick Lamar, Laura Marling, Joni Mitchell, Mozart, Frank Ocean, there are tons. But these people who, you run into them and you're like, oh, you can do that? That's allowed? Are you sure? And it's exciting and it's thrilling. Oh my God, yeah, help me out. There's a book called More Than This by Patrick Ness. Wait, I love Patrick Ness. Yes, okay, great, more than this. Hang on, everybody. Oh, that's the music. More than this. Oh yeah, we are going at it in this live tonight. Okay, more than this. Crystal's here! Crystal! I think she just texted me. I saw a little... Oh. Hey, thanks, Chris. That's really nice. What was my lines for them? And
No, you didn't. You had this super duper laser, and that's the guy who's really defensive, all the time, and he sort of dentalizes his teeth, and he's a little bit curious, a little Miranda sings. And the other one's just kind of obviously the cooler kid, and they're a little bit the same. But
yeah, that's the two of them. I didn't die. Pi, what? I assume that's pi. You have the same thing. Yeah, that's pi.
James Jasperson. And there you sit, God herself. Do you take sugar? It's a bit... Yes, it's mid-Atlantic. It's very sneaky, but it's very nice.
Characters, zodiac signs, I don't know. Apparently I'm a Scorpio, and I don't feel much like a Scorpio because apparently Scorpios love drama, and I'll avoid that like the plague. Name! Nine! I don't actually know how to pronounce your name. Mine is Podany, by the way. You believe God is a woman. Yes, yes I do. I actually believe, apparently according to Lucids, that God is two people arguing in a Whole Foods. Wait. Neve? Okay, Neve. Got it. Neve. Everybody on here right now, go join the Discord. Can someone scribe in the comments how you join a Discord? But go join the Discord. How do you have the passion to go over the limit? Because you have to. After a while, you start getting obsessed with perfection, and it's like, okay, no, it's good enough. And that's when you need other eyes, right? I need, like, my parents, or Crystal, or Brandon, or... Those have pretty much been the people I've been sending it to say, like, no, it's good enough, like, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, I can calm down. There are certain things, even in this episode, that I watched during the live, and I was like, oh, man, I missed that. Okay. So how do you join the Discord for everybody who's on here? We got 73 people here, and we got to get them to join the Discord because the Discord is sweet. I bet you smell nice. I don't know how I smell. Everybody here? There isn't a debate there. There you go. Just click the link. There you go. Hey! We have a link. I got to put that in my link tree. Should we keep it as Lucids? Okay, general discussion now that everybody is on the Discord here. Should we keep it as Lucids Discord? Should we keep it as Lucids Discord, or should we change it to... What would it be changed to? NBCU? NBCU is not bad. I just worry that, like, say I go on to do something, like, legitimate that is not my own, right? Not legitimate, but, like, something that takes up a lot of my time, per se. Like a TV show. But I still want to keep in contact with you guys, and I'm still trying to create, but maybe it's not at the same speed that it was. What do we call ourselves? Gods of Whole Foods? Whole Foods, I mean, just in case I turn it into something, I don't want it to be infringing on copyright. The Nicholas Podany Discord. That feels a little too Nicholas Podany-centric. Do you know what I mean? Like, because yes, it's cool that I made Lucids, but the nice thing is that Lucids is a bigger thing than me. Does that make sense? I don't want my name in it. Jaspers? Jaspers isn't a bad idea. Jaspers is funny. It really intimidates people, anybody like named Jasper, to come and join it. Jasper Cult? The Jasper Cult. Oh, that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it? The Jasper Cult. Oh, and I do love Jasper. My production company name technically is Stairway Productions, because when I was doing writer's block, me and my dad spent a month before we started filming redoing the stairs up to the apartment where I filmed the Jasper Cult, I filmed the hospital, I filmed the second grade classroom, I filmed all of my TikToks. That's where that apartment is. And we rebuilt the steps there. And so I called my production company Stairway Productions. But the Jasper Cult is pretty funny. If my production company was just called Jasper. My record company, my fake record company, where I release Spotify records under, is called Phased Records, PHAZED Records, because me and my best friend in high school, we had a fake band called the Chunky Phasers, and so I made this little record company called Phased Records. So it really doesn't matter. The Dreamscapes, Stairway to Jasper. Nicholas Podany's Breakfast Diner. That's pretty good. I don't want my name in it, though. I don't want my name. There's a whole section called Questions for Nick. That's like enough ego for a lifetime. The Jaspersons. The Jaspersons. Japple. Japple feels... I don't like Japple. I don't like Japple. Jasper's God. The apple tree. What about Podany's Diner called? Dude Pants Discord. The thing I laughed about first was like, what if we just call it Dude Pants? No. A tree. The Jasper cult is perfect. Is the Jasper cult perfect? We can change it later. Why don't we call it the Jasper cult? Because that has nothing to do with me. Although, okay. Here's the issue. There's going to be an issue with everything, but here's the issue. Is that if people are joining from, like, let's say I make something else, right? Let's say I make something completely different. Let's talk about narration, right? No Jaspers in narration. And then, like, where's the Discord? And they go and they find it's like, Jasper cult? What if I have been through the ringer with a very high profile project thing. And if I get that, I could go on this for hours about why this has been the most frustrating past few days of my life, but it informed me that there are a lot of high-profile people wanting me to be in their projects eventually. Okay, so let's say, all fingers crossed, all toes crossed, all eyes crossed, that eventually I am in a high-profile project that I have no control over. It's not the MCU. It's not the MCU. I wish. If it was the MCU, I'd just tell you right away. I'd give a shit to Tom Holland and be like, there you go. So if I am in a high-profile project, and I really want to keep this going. Like, this feels like something like I want to do for a while. And it's like, he has this online presence. I don't want it to be my name. I want it to be kind of the community that something I conveniently wrote brought all these people together, right? Because that's not about me. It's like the people inside of it. I know I'm doing a live and it's whatever. I just feel that. Maybe the Jasper cult is good. Right? Dreamscape Discord. Dreamscape Discord. We could attract some iffy people with that, right? Because if it's the Dreamscape Discord, then people might come and be like, yeah, I learned about this crazy gem that can put you into secret codes of reality. I don't really want that, right? Like, I mean, Lucids is cool, but coffee, pods and knees. Let's make it the Jasper cult. Screw it. I think it's funny that we call it a cult because that's hilarious. Because we are not one. What if I get taken to court? What if I'm accused for a murder that I didn't do? And they're like, you have a cult around you, but they can't blame it on me because it's the Jaspers. Yeah, let's call it the Jasper cult. Who cares? Yart Map Polar Bears. I feel like this is Mabim Bam naming the year. Do you know what I mean? This is Mabim Bam naming the year. Mabim Bam is my brother, and me. What was this year? It was Big Dog Run, No Bones About It. Jasper cult, everybody. Just blame it on Jasper. Too much coffee? Yeah. I don't know. It's the end of Lucids. To the Jasper call. Well done, everybody. Boy. I just don't want to let go. I just don't want to stop the live because this is the last Lucids live. The service is every 20 minutes. Wait. No, wait. What about James Jasperson following? No, because James Jasperson might... I don't know. James Jasperson is cool as like a character, but I don't want him to have a following. I want him to have a following, but not a... Yeah. Another what? I need to do an analysis of part 6. Hello, everyone. Okay. What do I have? What is this? Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. This was my initial shot list for the white space. This is how I was figuring everything out. I also had a sheet of paper that labeled north, south, west, and east, and it was like to get my orientation, where north was Whole Foods, south was second grade, west was nothing, east was table. And I had to adjust that in order to get everything right. It's crazy. Oh, can we do this another time? Do I have a lot of international people here? Should we do this another time? All right. Tell you what. Yeah, let's draw this out for as long as we can. Let's do another live tomorrow at 8 p.m. And we will talk about score. We will talk about editing. We will talk about everything. England lads, yeah. You know what? Let's do it for the English. The English. Jesus. Australians are okay. English. Oh my God. They just think they can control us. We broke up with you in 1776, okay? Yeah, I might be a dual citizen. I was born in Los Angeles, okay? Get me a cup of tea. All right, lovely, everybody. Brilliant. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave the Lucids chat. I don't know, this is the best. And I know that this is the best. Things might get bigger and broader and larger later on in my life, but this is the best. So. I know. All right, everybody. Fairly well. Enjoy your night. Have a good night. And I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to do scores and everything. And then I will create more, and then we will continue.